Yo, what is good, my fellow deadheads? Your overlord has returned with yet another Kaiju number 8 video. Hopefully you guys are having an excellent day. Today we are finally going to be doing not a breakdown, but a showcase. Yes, a showcase video. Basically the breakdown video, but this time I am going to be doing some stages at the end just to kind of like showcase the unit's power in different situations. But today we're going to be talking about number 10 suit Hoshina, who dropped yesterday. As of right now, I only have him and his weapon. I do not have any dupes of him just yet. I have not summoned. I just bought a copy of him and his weapon from the shop. So I plan to summon at a later date because I do want to build back up my pity points because the pity in this game is absolutely diabolical. But if you guys do enjoy videos like this, then you can go down below, you can leave a like, you can hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every single time the dead man decides to glide. You guys can comment down below and let me know what you want to know. And also guys, please do make sure that you go and check out my co-op raid missions against Kaiju number 2, where I have used Hoshina, I have used Narumi, and I have also used a full standard banner unit team. So just a bunch of different variety, a bunch of different options for you guys, premium options, free to play options, whatever you need there. But we're going to go ahead and just get right into the Hoshina showcase, so hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, so some pros and cons for our boy Hoshina. First of all, I would say that his damage is insane, even higher than Narumi. I think Narumi has finally been dethroned, or not I think, I know Narumi has finally been dethroned as the king of damage in this game. The only thing that I want to check in this showcase is to see if his slash additional damage counts as 2 different hits on physical plating, because if it doesn't, I think that Narumi doesn't stay better than him, but I think Narumi is maybe like equal with him because of the versatility of shooting and slash being 2 different plating breaks. But if his slash attack and the additional slash can do 2 plating break types, then I'd say that I'd give Hoshina the edge in that regard. But also this man Narumi does have 2 different skills that are shooting and slashing, so he does have a better spread of skills that are multiple plating types. But even still, Hoshina's damage absolutely clears. The king of damage, the king of nukes. You will notice in this kit that he is a very this or that unit. It is a either you're this way and you're getting these buffs, or you're either that way or you're getting these buffs, right? Some of the buffs make you look better damage wise, other buffs make you build up to looking better damage wise, right? So it all depends on how the situation is going at the moment at a turn's notice. His enhanced skill is really cool. He does have a combat skill that does transform into a different skill once he enters a certain state called resonance. Yeah, no, it is really cool that he has 2 skills in one. I do definitely like that mechanic. I do think it's very interesting, and they are finding a lot of different ways to give a lot of these different units a lot of different states and use all of these different states to make the kits work very differently. And it's, again, very cool, very fun, very interesting. I think it engages me in the game more, having to pay attention to all these different mechanics and all these different ways that characters work, because it's not always necessarily, it's not like Dokkan where, okay, they have guard, defense, damage reduction, they stack, right? It's not like that. It's like, okay, he has resonance, and even though he may not be the most defensive unit, he can absolutely slash enemies away. That's another reason why I kind of got to give him the edge over Narumi as well. Is like, one of the things that I pride Narumi on is that even though he doesn't have an element on, I can take him into elemental stages and still just rip through the enemy through pure damage alone. Even if I get hit with an ultimate, I can survive enough ultimates, or I do enough damage that I'm not having to survive too many ultimates. Versus, you know, this man Hoshina's damage just absolutely dwarfs Narumi. Like, it's insane. It's night and day. And guys, if you want to see him used in the new raid battle against Kaiju number 2, again, I have already done a video of that, and I did a video with Narumi. Not really comparison, because Hoshina is not fully worked on to the degree that Narumi is worked on, which we will see here pretty soon. It is kind of hard to get all the skills leveled up to level 10 like every single week for every single unit. But yeah, we'll still get to see some results from this man Hoshina regardless. And the last perk that I want to give him is that when there are 2 or less Kaiju, the this or that kind of thing again. When there are 2 or less Kaiju, he gets a really insane buff. When there are 3 or more Kaiju, he loses resonance, I think, when he does his ultimate. But literally him doing his ultimate could wipe away one of the 3 Kaiju, which leaves you at 2 Kaiju only. And once he gets down to 2 Kaiju, which theoretically means that longer in battles, he should be stronger, because longer in battles, you should be taking away more Kaiju, not adding more Kaiju, right? Longer in battle, he should be getting better and better. and that is from his dupes to his passives to everything. So then his cons are that he's only one plating type, he's only a slasher, and also another con that I would say is that I don't think that he's worth summoning at the time of release. I think that Sagan is still going to provide more of an overall benefit for your account, so I think hold off on him. And I also think that he is going to have another character following his coattails on October 1st whenever we do get the Steam release and Chapter 4 release, because if you look at the Chapter 4 release very closely in the roadmap, you can see that the game original created Kaiju that they said they were going to create is actually going to be coming to the game. So that is very interesting as well. But I think that we will get a new meta breaking unit, and I think it'll be Chester, I always want to call him Charles, Chester Lockburn, and I think he'll be a water unit. So it's just very unfortunate that Hoshina is in between two very strong, maybe between two very strong and very impactful units. But I did also see that somebody was summoning on Hoshina's banner, and they actually got a copy of Reno, which honestly, before we even continue in the showcase, I do want to make sure that I wasn't just like super tired or anything like that, and just go check out his banner just to make sure that that is true. You can see here, you can pick up Hoshina and his weapon, Kaiju number 8, Kikuru, where is he? Yep, Reno is right here in the banner, so you actually can pick up Reno, and you can also pick up AR Boreas. So Reno and his weapon are both in the banner. Let's go ahead and head back over to this man, Hoshina now. So Hoshina's first passive is going to be called Synchronized Spirit. While not in resonance state, this unit's ultimate gauge is boosted by 18%, at least where I'm at right now at level 8, by 18%. And then in the resonance state, this unit's crit damage increases by 36%. So basically, without the resonance, you're boosting to your ultimate so that you can do your ultimate and then get resonance. And then once in resonance, you have higher damage so you can use that enhanced combat skill. So just a very intuitive kit. Rush into ultimate, use the ultimate, get the resonance, use the combat skill, lose the enhanced combat skill, build right back up to your ultimate again, right? That's kind of how this man is going to want to work. So his combat skill is probably going to take a lot of priority in the mission itself. So you want to make sure that you are prioritizing SP efficiently when you're using this man. A lot of these new characters coming out, their combat skill is absolutely cracked, but they do have other skills that are pretty important. Like I think Reno's ultimate is also important, just like his combat skill is too, but his combat skill looks like it makes up most of it. But at least Reno has a mechanic where he can possibly get back some SP for you. The first additional passive is going to be Ultimate State. After activating Ultimate, apply / additional damage state to this unit. So he has additional / damage added on. It's like / not DOT, but just like a final, what is it called in 7 Deadly Sins? Death damage, basically? Yeah, basically death damage. So after you get hit with the initial set of damage, you get hit with another amount of damage too. But after activating Ultimate, apply / additional damage state to this unit. / additional damage state. After attacking, 1, deals / additional damage equal to 30% of this unit's attack to a target. So if you can get him to really high attack, that is going to be a really insane damage number we're going to be seeing. And then 2, remove / additional damage state. After he gets into the ultimate state, or after he does the additional / damage, you're going to have to remove the / damage as well. Then right here, you can see Valiance and Adversity. When remaining HP is 50% or more, which is really good, by the way. A lot of these different characters you see like, oh, when health is 70% or more, 80% or more, 50% or more is very easy to maintain, especially with the degree of tank we have in Sagan and Isao. Yeah, just those two. And we even have Akadi as a defender as well who can heal, so can maintain 50% HP or above very easily, I think. This unit / damage plus 15%, so getting some more / damage in. You're going to notice that this man is really built around / damage, crit damage, and there's just damage dealt in general on different skills. But Kindred Spirits, while in a resonant state, this unit's ultimate damage is plus 15%. So again, just something else to boost his damage. And this is another one of those kits that is just very, very simple, but highly effective in its simplicity. And again, this skill right here is going to be after you unlock level cap 40. This one is going to be after you unlock level cap 60. This one is after you unlock level cap 80. My Hoshina is, of course, level 100. I like to at least be at level 100 for a showcase type of video, but now we can talk about his actual in-battle skills. So his first skill is going to be Hoshina Style Sword Slay Technique number 1, Air Slicer. Just a basic normal attack. Deal / damage equal to 65% of this unit's attack to a single Kaiju at level 3. Usually these skills start at level at 55%. I can guarantee you if I check right here, yes, the skill is going to go up by 5%, so it's safe to say that this skill is 55% at level 1. We have Fleeting Slasher, which is his combat skill. Deal / damage equal to 155% of this unit's attack to a single Kaiju at level 4. deals slash damage equal to 78% of this unit's attack at adjacent kaiju. Then after attacking, advances this unit's next action order by 10%. So here's what I'm imagining, right? Use the combat skill, then use the ultimate right after. Then he's already having a boosted action order rate from the combat skill that he just used previously, and then he's going to be able to use his enhanced skill like very quickly after he uses his combat skill. So the combat skill is going to be very important, and again, something that you're probably going to want to prioritize. Also, he boosts his ultimate gauge by 90 and gives it costs 1 SP to do this combat skill. But once his combat skill is enhanced, it becomes a single target attack that actually just increases his slash damage dealt by 15.2% at level 4 again, then deals slash damage equal to 275% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju. So very good damage, like just a shift from a blast attack into a really high damage single target attack, I think is really cool. Then as soon as you do the really high damage single target attack, it's going to switch back down, or after resonance is lost, it's going to switch back down to a blast attack again. But I just like that little switching. Again, like I said, you're going to see a lot of back and forth with this character, but I do not hate it actually. I do actually think it works very well for him, because it does work. Like, these units are very accurate to the show, and that's how these two are. These two can be in a resonated state, but at the same time, sometimes they are goofing around, and they are given the moniker the comedy suit duo. Yes, I think so. So sometimes they're on bullshit, sometimes they are cooking, right? But this unit is definitely going to be cooking most of the time, if not all the time. Their ultimate is going to be a single target attack, which is going to deal slash damage equal to 460% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju, so pretty solid damage. Then also, after attacking, if there are 2 or fewer kaiju on the field, applies resonance to this unit. So again, this is what I was talking about, how you're going to be wanting to get rid of these kaiju and getting them down to lesser numbers, because when they get down to lesser numbers, that's when resonance becomes a possibility for you. But resonance. Combat skill is enhanced after activating ultimate. If there are 3 or more kaiju on the field, removes resonance. So again, you want to make sure that you have the enemies to a state where there are only 2 kaiju on the field. I'm probably going to go into the fierce battle area and the limited fierce battle area for the showcase portion of this video, and I don't remember if some of these rooms have 3 kaiju in the end of them, or maybe not. They might have just like a giant kaiju battle, or kaiju number 10, or kaiju number 10 I'm pretty sure has 2 mobs beside him, but we will try to get rid of these side mobs so that we can at least have 2 kaiju in the fight and just see what Hoshina really can do when he's letting loose against kaiju number 10. Funny, kaiju number 10 v kaiju number 10, huh? The follow-up skill is just going to deal slash damage equal to 91% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju. So let's see, this increases by 7% per, and if you look, minus 7% twice would be minus 14%. So at level 1, that would mean that this skill is doing 77% damage, I think, at or 74% damage, because 7% on 74 would be 81, and then 90. Hold on, let's just pull our phone out, because it is like 7 a.m. or before 7 a.m. and math is not a very good skill to try and mess with or before 10 a.m. 91% minus 14 is 77 actually, so my math was actually spot on. But yes, it seems that his follow-up attack is actually stronger than a regular follow-up attack, so that's pretty cool. But if I had to give a skill level priority, I would definitely say do the passive skill first, just because that's going to make the resonance state matter the most. That's going to make your ultimate gauge fill up the fastest without having resonance. That's going to make your crit damage hit the hardest when having resonance. Then afterwards, I would say you want to work on that combat skill, because it is 2 skills in one, probably the most bang for your buck in working on his skills, just because a blast attack is always going to be good, especially the one that advances your next action order by a certain percent, and then also a really high damage single target attack that can do probably close to the amount of damage your ultimate can do too, is going to be very important as well, especially because it has additional slash damage going to be adding on to it, and then it also has slash damage that'll increase built into the skill as well. Then you're going to want to do your ultimate, because that is what's going to be applying you resonance, and again, it's just a very high damage skill, so you can quite literally kill an enemy, kill a kaiju with the ultimate, and then once you do that, I'm pretty sure once the kaiju is dead, you can activate the resonance all in that one sweep right there. Then I would say do the follow-up attack next, because the follow-up attack actually is higher damage than the usual follow-up attack, and the follow-up attack animation actually looks pretty excellent if you do ask me. And then the last skill is going to be your normal attack, and even though it is a normal attack, it still is going to do pretty good damage. This Hoshina is just really good in general. He doesn't really need a lot extra going on for him. He has a pretty well thought out kit already. But now, guys, we can jump over to some gear recommendations. So, guys, I'm actually using a lizard type set right now, and unfortunately, my boots are not 5-star. If they were 5-star, I'd be getting a much better crit rate buff, and I'd be getting a much better attack buff, and a much better ultimate damage dealt buff before doing my ultimate. But even still, I can make this work for the showcase. But you can see here, we have attack on the hands, we have crit damage on the chest piece, so very good sub stats, and we got slash damage on the boots as well. Only thing is, not having that, having the 5-star boots is really holding me back in the damage department. But also, I wish I had some orange sub stats on the gloves and the chest piece. And I'll be honest with y'all, right before I even started recording this video, I bought some canisters with my expedition medals, and I re-rolled. I had 17 canisters, and out of those 17 canisters, I got the orange gloves and the orange chest piece. So GG to me right before the video. That was pretty cracked, I'd say so. But yeah, I think the lizard type set is going to be the best option for you. And honestly, I personally think it's the only option. I mean, obviously you can go with the fungal type set to try and increase his crit damage even more, but I would say that his crit damage is increased so much in his kit, from his weapon to his ascension to his passives to his skills, even like his raw just damage increase is just so insane that I'd say you want to maximize his crit rate as best you can. I think crit damage is fine as a substat on this set, but I think staying at the crit rate with the set itself is good, because there is an ascension buff at A1 where he gets 25% crit rate, but it is only for 1 turn, and it is on using his combat skills. So you can't even use that into his ultimate, or I guess for that 1 turn you could use it into his ultimate, but you can't use it for the enhanced skill afterwards, I think, because the next turn, or I guess before the next turn marker shows up, as long as he gets a next priority. So if you have Hoshina beside him, maybe he can get another turn. But I think that really you just want to stick to doing crit rate to make sure that he's just critting as much as he can all the time, instead of getting that little 1-turn crit rate buff, because you're going to notice in his ascension as well that he has a crit damage buff that is for 2 turns that is much more impactful. So he is obviously just meant to be crit damage all the way, so you want to build him crit rate. I think that, again, lizard type set is going to be the best bet for you. But somebody did comment and they said that they do use the fungal type set, and I think the fungal type set is going to give you excellent damage, probably on his combat skill mainly, but I think that crit rate set is going to give you better damage across the entire board for his kit and the way that he works. But if you want to know what I think for the substats, I would say that attack, crit damage, and crit rate, depending on where you're at. I say that the crit damage set works once you're at A1. Again, if you want to try that out, but I think that crit rate for the most is going to be it. So you can roll crit damage, I would say, if you have maybe you can roll crit damage if you have A1 Hoshina, but if you have A0 Hoshina, I'd probably say stick to the crit rate. The only reason why mine is crit damage is because the purple one was already crit damage, and the orange one just directly replacing it just is a direct boost. Does that make sense? I didn't roll crit rate orange, and I didn't roll crit rate purple either. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go to this, and now I'll just try to roll it into a crit rate orange piece later on. But yeah, and then you want to do slash damage as well. That's the only type of damage. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be what you want for the substats. I do just want to say to y'all, chat, like every time I try to go to the next section of the video, I do instinctively try to click on my computer. So I just want to say again, I cannot wait for the Steam version to finally be released, and it is so close. We are like 10 days away, I think. Yes, we are 10 days away. So the the Steam release is almost here, and again, very excited. But guys, this man's best weapon is obviously going to be the weapon that he came on his banner with, and this is another thing that I was talking about, just crit damage built into his kit every single place you go. So Susano is going to give him crit damage plus 48% at 0 ascension, so a very high crit damage buff. Even the next best weapon for him doesn't even give him that high of a crit damage buff, but crit damage plus 48% after the equipped unit activates combat skill. If there are 2 or fewer kaiju on the field, apply speed plus 18% for 2 turns to this unit. So again, this builds into his speed, which makes that crit rate a little more meaningful for 1 turn from his ascension that he's going to get. Then before the equipped unit activates ultimate, applies combat damage and ultimate skill damage plus 15% for 3 turns to this unit. So that's really insane for doing his enhanced combat skill, and even doing his non-enhanced combat skill after you lose the resonance buff as well. The next best weapon for him, which I cannot show right now because I'm not buying or I don't have access to buying another battle pass because the battle pass is not reset yet. But if the battle pass was reset, I'd have a little gearbox and I would be able to show you guys that there are another set of weapons, or the regular weapons, I guess, in the game in that battle pass. But the next best weapon for him is going to be called, what is it? SW Amino Torifune. So that sword also provides a crit damage buff, but I think the crit damage buff at A0 is only 30%. And it gives, I think, extra attack as well whenever you do a combat skill, but that is about it. It doesn't really go as deep as this skill does. This weapon is obviously as personalized, as specific to this man Hoshina as it can possibly get. And then if you cannot get that weapon, if you don't want to spend your money, because that is a premium option, there is a free-to-play option, which is the SW Takeminekata, which I use for the base Hoshina, or the 5-star Hoshina regular version right now. But this one boosts slash damage, and whenever you use your ultimate, it applies an extra attack boost to you for 3 turns. So it can still be useful for you, and it also gives you another damage dealt buff if your HP is again above another threshold. But this one is 80% as opposed to 50%, so it can still work out for you as well. And this one's a free-to-play option, so I don't think it would hurt to pick this one up for him if you cannot summon for Susanoo. But from what I've seen from everybody's summons, it seems like Susanoo is just getting dumped on everybody at a rapid rate, and they're struggling to get this man Hoshina until they do a bunch of cubes, right? But everybody's summoning experience is different. It could be a reverse effect. It could be that everybody is getting a bunch of Hoshinas and not getting his weapon at all, and now they're raging because they're not getting his weapon. But yes, those are going to be the 3 best weapons for him. S&W Susanoo, which is the weapon he came with. The S&W Ameno Torifune, which probably is the best thing that's closest to replicating the Susanoo, even though it doesn't do it to the same extent. And then the SW Takeminekata. Yes, Takeminekata. Sometimes I second guess myself on Japanese words, even though I'm pretty sure I can read them as fast as I think I can. But guys, now we're going to get to the most excellent, the most exquisite part of these videos, Ascension, because who does not love looking at duplicates? So first dupe is going to be Polished Technique. Before activating a combat skill, applies crit rate plus 25% for 1 turn to this unit. I definitely just wish that this said for 2 turns. If this said for 2 turns, I'd be all on board for saying like, yo, build a fungal set off rip, doesn't matter, blah blah blah. But just because it says 1 turn, I would still be a little hesitant on fungal set for the time being, and I would still stick to the lizard type set. But very good passive skill right there. Then we have Honed Senses for A2. Before activating ultimate or follow-up skill, applies attack plus 15% to this unit. Now this I do like a lot, because basically what this really is saying is before activating ultimate or before activating the battle buddy's ultimate, because you get a follow-up attack whenever your battle buddy does their ultimate, or I think whenever your battle buddy breaks as well. So that's why another reason why the follow-up skill is going to be more important than the normal attack. But yeah, getting 15% attack with a max of 5 stacks, bro, that stacks out to an extra 75% attack once you can get that fully complete. So that would be really crazy. And then I thought they were going to play hardball with you with the 3rd dupe here, and I thought that they were going to make his combat skill be upgraded on the 5th dupe because it's so important, but they seem to play nice and make it so that the combat skill still gets leveled up on the 3rd dupe. So GG to Akatsuki for that unexpected combination. Normal attack and combat skill plus level 2, and the max plus level 2 as well. Then we can see here for A4, the Path Forged. After defeating a Kaiju, this unit's ultimate gauge plus 45. So that's very good. That plays more into his ult rushing capabilities as well. And that's like if there's 3 Kaijus on the field and you kill one of the Kaiju, then you're building right back into his ultimate, and your ult gauge is going to still be boosted up, and then it's going to switch right over to just extra crit damage because you just got this to push you probably the last little bit that you need to your ultimate, maybe, I'm assuming. Then at level 5 here, or A5 here, critical realization, ultimate, passive skill, follow-up skill, all plus level 2 on the max level and on the actual level. Very good. And then A6, the joy of combat, absolute insanity. After activating ultimate, applies crit damage plus 100% for 2 turns to this unit. So this is why I say this is a 100% crit damage based unit, so you want to build crit rate into him, because once you get him to A6, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, bro, they gave the 100% crit damage buff a 2 turns, which I understand it is at A6, but like it is 100% boosted crit damage. They gave that 2 turns and only gave this 1 turn. I am a little sad about that, but either way, I still don't hate his kit. I still think his kit is absolutely incredible no matter what. Now, Hoshina's best battle buddy is going to be Hoshina, probably, right? Me, myself, and I type shit. Hoshina just gets more speed whenever he's beside Hoshina. He also gets more blast damage. He gets more single target damage. He also gets the good. He gets resourceful and a pinch buff, which is going to be 46% extra crit damage as well. So it's just like this man is a no-brainer. Mina is also going to be pretty good because she's just another unit who just straight up directly boosts damage. Rio is a little bit more all-encompassing, where he's like a specific skill type of damage. I think he does ultimate damage or damage dealt, and then he does speed. But yeah, Mina could be another really good option. My Mina is not really worked on, but I am starting to see the merit of her. I'm going through my units more and more every day as I do these videos. But guys, that's gonna be it for the like breakdown build type of portion of this video. Now we're gonna actually get into some content here and see how this man performs, again, like I said, in the fierce battle areas. I don't want to use him in the raid battle because I've already done a video for that today, which you guys can go check out. And also, he is just highly, supremely, extremely boosted in that raid battle right now as well. So I feel like that would be a very unfair depiction of how he does look. So we'll hop over to those stages now. All right, guys, so we are here in fierce battle area, and first we are going to use him in the permanent one, then we're going to use him in the limited one. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to jump all the way up to stage 15, and I want to test him out in both of the stages just to see his damage in both of the stages, right? So we're just going to swap our teams around in a way where we can use him in both of the stages, and I will honestly just do like the squad 1 team, and then afterwards I'm just gonna cut the video to where I'm already doing squad 2 with Hoshina edited into the team and everything, so that we can just see him showcased on both of the battles instead of wasting time looking at anything else. And then we'll do the same thing for the Signal of Disruption fierce battle area. But let's go ahead and just get the team together and then talk about why we're doing it. All right, guys, so this is what we're going to be using for fierce battle area team squad 1 run, and then I'll probably just jump over to the squad 2 run and just actually show the team inside the mission itself. But we're going to go ahead and get to it. We chose Sagan here in Kaiju number 8 because we still need blunt damage, and Sagan is going to probably be prioritizing using her, or honestly, I'm going to be playing, so I'll probably be using Sagan's buff skill a little bit to make sure my team is okay. But yeah, we're probably going to be prioritizing the SB skill for that man Hoshina the most, just to see how much damage he can do, even when the Kaiju is not core exposed. But yeah, we just got Kaiju number 8 and Sagan here again to break through the actual plating and make sure that we don't suffer too much. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I use this man 4-star Hoshina so much, I'm really starting to think I probably should be getting this man up to level 400, level 100, like relatively soon here. I mean, I deserve to put the he deserves the respect, right? He deserves the respect. So I think right now we're going to focus on getting this man close to being in a broken state, and then we're going to switch our focus to a Kaiju on the side. So that was 5,000 on the base skill right there. That was a crit as well, so already looking pretty solid. We're going to go ahead and just hit the blunt damage right here so that we can go ahead and be clear of that. And then I'm going to buff up this man again. Okay, and I'm going to use his blast skill pretty soon here. So we're going to go ahead and hit you, and then we're going to let the blast skill loose in a second. Okay, right here, we're going to hit all of them. So pretty solid damage, guys. You have to remember, I just went over this man's skills. They're like level 3 and level 4. I would say that's pretty good damage. We just started the fight, bro. We are not even on turn number 2 yet. We are going to, I think we are going to do this to start prepping up. And then we're going to, yes. Let's support Hoshina again. I just want to keep supporting this man Hoshina for real. Okay. Then, wow, that is just so much speed right now. We're gonna break you. We're gonna use the ult. We're gonna go ahead and start trying to work on this side mob over here because I want to get down to 2 Kaiju. But there goes that beautiful follow-up animation that I was talking about earlier. We're gonna go ahead and just drop this attack right here on this Kaiju. Now, I think Kaiju number 10 may have the capability to respawn the mobs that you get rid of, but we are still gonna work to get rid of this mob over here on the side. Let's go ahead and just get to whittling this man away here. Because by the time we use our ultimate, we want to make sure. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to check and see how much health he would have after I did that. But yes, bro got absolutely swiped away. So now the middle Kaiju, that was perfect. Middle Kaiju is exposed, or Kaiju number 10 is exposed. We're going to go ahead and drop our ultimate here because this is also going to put us in a resonant state. How much damage do we do here? So we didn't crit at all yet. but we did 24k as of right now, which not bad. But yes, that is why I'm saying you want to keep that crit rate on him. We are going to go ahead and I think use this over here, because again, Kaiju number 10 is in an exposed state right now, so we want to try to kind of keep the mobs controlled to make sure that we can, I just realized I was talking to my hand right there, but we want to try to keep the mobs controlled to make sure that we can make this man Hoshina look as good as possible, and also make sure that my team is surviving, which there is no fear of my team dying in this. But okay, we're going to let this loose right here and see how much damage this does. So he crits and we do 50k, not bad. I'd say that's pretty good, because like I said, the most damage I've seen my Nadumi hit so far is about 50k damage. So this man is looking really good. We're gonna break you over here just so you can't get your ultimate off. And then honestly, let's just pop the ultimate from Kaiju number 8 as well and just get rid of this side mob over here too. And then yeah, we're just gonna let Hoshina play with his food, I guess you could say. But we've already seen this man Hoshina hit an impressive 50k damage at a very low skill level, might I add you. But we're gonna just do the blast attack and single target attack boost once more, and then we're gonna buff up with Sagan too, because we got some little extra SP to spare, and we're gonna do this to boost this man's crit damage. Yes, we're going to do this to boost this man's crit damage, and this also is going to boost his attack as well. So perfect little lineup of events here before we get to our last hit right here, and I'm pretty sure this will probably be the last hit because we are still in a resonated state. So we're going to go ahead and just let this loose. It says it's going to put him down to 1 HP bar right now, but I think that is not considering the crit. So let's see how much buffing we have on this man right now. We have the resonance on right now. We have an extra 7.4% attack, and then an extra 14% attack, and then 18% speed, 30% crit damage, another 65% single target damage dealt, 65% blast attack damage dealt, combat skill damage dealt 15%. So the combat skill is single target right now. So it's going to be 65% plus the extra 15%, and then we have 20% to our skill damage. Just a really high crit damage buff is insane. Oh my goodness. We don't have the SR Hoshina's ultimate, unfortunately, so we cannot get him to get a turnout and get resourceful in a pinch going off right now, but we are still going to go ahead and just see how much this does. We got 50k the last time. Let's see if we can 54k this time. So yes, absolutely swiped away Kaiju number 10 right there. And again, guys, we're just going to jump into the second battle now with the Kaiju number 10 Hoshina team. Alright guys, we are back, and now we're fighting the giant form of Kaiju number 10. So this is going to be the squad 2 setup here, and you can see that Kaiju number 10 is actually weak to slasher. So we need to pay attention and see if the additional slash damage buff works the way that we hope it does, and it counts as 2 different plate breakings instead of just 1. But we're going to do the same thing, start off buffing this man Narumi here, or not Narumi, buffing this man Hoshina here. I'm so used to it being Narumi. Our team composition this time is going to be Reno to provide some freezes for us and some debuffs, and then also we are using Minase, there we go, Minase here, so that we can make sure that Reno or the other Hoshina doesn't die, because the way that I do these videos is kind of like a bit stally, so gotta make sure that my units stay alive for the entirety of it. Alright, we got some pretty decent damage to start off there. Just turn 1, just a little buff from the start with Hoshina, and that does take away an SP, unfortunately. I was hoping that it actually saved us an SP. I'll be real, I didn't like to do showcases on characters before, like in the past, because I felt like, who wants to see a character not at 100%, right? I used to kind of have that the truth DT syndrome, I guess. I don't know. But now I feel like I kind of get it, you know? I'm doing this showcase right now, and I'm just happy to see this man Hoshina performing at the level he's at right now, and he's not even fully worked on just yet. Just makes me happy to know that he's going to be even better in the future from my efforts here. But we are going to pop a blast attack so that we can get rid of the little side mob over there. Or I don't know if I'll get rid of him, but the other one is already dead. So we have just core exposed this man, Kaiju number 10 here. And giant, oh no, we didn't. We core exposed his little homie. All right. So there's only 2 Kaiju. What I want to do is, I don't want to break Kaiju number 10 in giant form, because I want to see if, or maybe I can hit him one time. Do I want to... I'm just trying to make sure I don't take away the plating because I want to see the plating before I use my skills here. But we're going to use the support on Hoshina. Then we're going to ult with our SR Hoshina on you. No, I messed it up. It didn't work. Because I'm going to kill this little mob right here. No. The mob lives. Okay, good. The mob lives. We are going to heal so that we don't do any damage at all. We're going to heal to Reno, I guess. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to use my ultimate on Kaiju number 10 so I can get one plate breaking on him. And then we're going to use our combat skill to see if we break 2 plates when we use it instead of just 1. Okay, so we only got 20k, 200. That was only 20k damage. Okay, but we don't have enough for the combat skill left over. Chat, I goofed it, chat. Okay, well, we'll have another time. We'll have another opportunity to test it, I'm sure. Okay. Let's start building up our SP again. And yeah, I mean, it's very, very easy this stage right now. How much damage does it do? So we didn't get a crit on that, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm telling y'all, chat, you gotta stick to that crit rate set to start out. But we're gonna go ahead and freeze them up, hit them with them ice crystals for real. Yep, we don't have any adjacent kaiju or anything like that. We're gonna do this. Very unfortunate that I used my SP skill there because I was really trying to see how that mechanic worked. I wanted to see if it counted as 2 plate breakings, but again, like I said, we may have an additional opportunity to check it. So we got 51k there, not too bad. Like I said, bro, this man is not fully worked on with his skills just yet, but his damage is quite impressive for a unit who's only at level 3 and level 4 skills. I'm having a lot of fun with this man, and like I said, we already knew that his damage potential was absolutely clearing that man, not me, but like it is definitely cemented for me right now, considering that his skills are not as worked on, and he's pretty much hitting comparable damage. He's only like 20k under that man, not me, but there is a world of difference in their skill levels, whereas Nadami is all level 10 skills. Now, the only extra potential that Nadami has for getting more damage is getting all of his substats on his gear to orange, right? The rare version of the substats, and also getting all of his getting him to A6 so I can get all of his passives, obviously, and then so I can also get all of his skill levels to level 12 instead of level 10. But I mean, other than that, I can do all the same. I can say the same exact thing for this Hoshina here, and also and then some. I can do more for this man Hoshina. So it's not really a competition here. It's not really a contest. Hoshina just absolutely clears. But we're gonna go ahead and jump over to the limited fierce battle area, which is versus the Signal of Disruption. But guys, that is it for Kaiju number 10 here. Alright guys, for stage 15 of the Signal Disruption Fierce Battle area, I'm going to be starting off with a team that I tried not to use Nadami and Hoshina like side by side because I feel like people are going to be like, oh, he's glazing Nadami. Like, I'm just like, no, I get it. I understand that my Nadami is stronger. We are here to see what Hoshina can do on his own. So I will be keeping Nadami to a separate team than Hoshina. But we have Hoshina here with the 4-star Hoshina beside him. Wow, who would have guessed it? Then we have Ryo here, who is a very excellent support. And then we have Reno here to help us give us extra damage. And then we'll see what the second squad team is going to be, but let's go ahead and get right into it. All right guys, so you can see here this room starts out with only 2 kaiju, so Hoshina is automatically going to look a bit better in this room than in the other stage because we had 3 kaiju that we were starting out with. But we're going to go ahead and do this to boost this man's ultimate gauge. I do want to actually use this skill real quick. So we do, like I said, we need to prioritize that SP, but at the same time, you know, some characters on this team need more SP than others, right? So we got to start playing the balance game here already. We're going to do this, and yes, okay, good. We got an extra SP off of doing that just now. So we got our little blast attack off. Oh, no, that didn't blast, huh? Oh, that's if ice crystal. Maybe I should have ice crystal. Maybe I should have hit the main one. Wait a minute. We're going to use this. Resourceful and a pinch should go off because we have a very low number of SP. Hey, Did we just recover an SP on that little thing right there? But right now, we're in a stage where Reno and Sagan are buffed. So this man Hoshina is not buffed in this stage. So he's not necessarily looking extremely overpowered in here. But he is still going to be looking pretty good just because he is that good, actually. We're going to go ahead and hit that combat skill. Nice. 24k on one of them, and the other one we hit crits, but I did not even get to see how much damage it was on the side, but pretty good there. We are then going to, do I want to go ahead and drop the ultimate? I guess so. I guess, yeah, I can drop the ultimate. We're just going to go ahead and drop the ultimate here on the little side model here. We are definitely killing it. No crits, unfortunate. But with no crits, we are looking at 27k, so not too bad. Then we're going to save some SP up and just use this basic skill right here. And then we're going to do the same thing here. No need to like go crazy debuffing the entire rotation. We're just going to use this as an opportunity to get built up for the next turn here. All right, cool. We're going to head to the next stage, and it's going to be against Kaiju number 2. So Kaiju number 2 has no side mobs at all. So again, this man is going to be looking like an absolute deviant. Ooh. This is already buffed up. Let's go ahead and just do this real quick. We are not below. Oh, we have a lot of SP, so resourceful in a pinch is not going to go off here. Very unfortunate, but it's going to be okay. We're going to do this, and we actually have the additional slash damage buff going on right now here, so we actually have the perfect opportunity to test this out and see. Let's see. Increases the unit slash. So he is in resonance, obviously. That's why this skill is enhanced right now. So that means that he does have the additional slash damage. So if the additional slash damage does go off, that means that after we do this attack, we should be seeing this man put the plates down to 4 instead of 5. But as of right now, it only says 5. And typically, before you do an attack with a unit, it shows you where the plating is going to be, like all things considered. So before we do this, let's take a look at him. We are absolutely in resonance right now. We can't look at his passive skills, which is unfortunate. Actually, no, we can't look at his passive skills right now, like everything else. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and just drop this off and see what happens here. So I believe that did the additional slash damage, but it didn't. It only broke one plate. So I would say that Nadumi still has some relevance here, but I could have been looking at that wrong, chat. I don't know, but I didn't see 2 plates break right there, and I'm pretty sure I had the additional slash damage there, or maybe it has to be absolutely the turn after the ultimate. So we'll get the ultimate again, and then we'll try it out again. I was gonna say, if this man wants to build up to his shield, I'm not gonna be upset because I want to make sure that he survives this. Hopefully we did not get an SP, so very unfortunate. We do not have the ultimate yet though, so we do not need to prioritize our SP super hard just yet. We're gonna do this. Then we're going to hit this and start trying to build up some SP real quick. Okay. He's gonna activate his shield. No, he's gonna give himself an attack buff. We're gonna do this to boost our speed and our ultimate gauge charge rate. That boy Rio is goated for sure. Yep, or damage though, I'm sorry, and then speed. But we are going to hit the combat skill because it's still crazy as shit right now. Why do I feel like I saw the additional slash damage there just now though? Not really much of a way for me to tell now, but we're just gonna go ahead and finish it up and try to just see how much damage we can get with the ultimate and everything, all things considered. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hit with Reno. We haven't broken the shield just yet, but the core is exposed. We're gonna hit this. We're gonna hit an ultimate with Reno actually, so that we can break through the barrier. Yep, we broke through the barrier. His defenses, I think it said, have been compromised. We're gonna buff. Yes, we're going to buff this man, Hoshina, again. That's not gonna push me to my ultimate, I don't think. Yeah, no, it's not. It's very close, but not quite. We're gonna ult with Hoshina because we'll be able to get some SP up. Oh, well, yeah, we'll be able to get some SP up before his next turn comes around. So we got this right here. We wouldn't be able to tell about the additional slash damage anyway because Kaiju's already broken. No crit, 64k. Excellent. So that did all but one little tiny bit of damage there. So yes, we actually got an even higher damage stat there, which I'm definitely happy with. So now we're going to go ahead and just jump over to the Squad 2 fight, or the Squad 2 showcase. All right, chat, we are back, and now we are fighting against the Water Kaiju, or we are in the stages leading up to the Water Kaiju. We are going to do the same thing, go ahead and boost our boy Hoshina here. So we've decided to go with, since we need elemental typing in this last little fight right here, we've decided to go with Sagan, of course, Reno, of course. Plus they're rated up in this mission, so they're also going to be looking really impactful, but we are mostly here to see this boy Hoshina perform. So we're going to see the damage on the initial turn right here. Decent damage to start off. Again, turn 1 damage never is bad. I'm never upset by it. We're going to actually do this to go ahead and just break through that elemental requirement, and then we're going to hit some ice crystals, of course. Just got to be a little smarter about playing with the SP here. Good little follow-up. Okay. All right. Good little counterattack as well. Now we're going to support this man again. And then we're going to hit another blast attack on everybody. Ooh, that was some pretty solid damage right there. And we got a break on somebody. On one of the side mobs, we got the break. So we're going to break you next. Just to make sure we don't eat an ult for no reason. And we are actually really close to getting rid of... Yes, we got an extra SP. That's excellent. We're actually really close to getting rid of one of these mobs here. Oh, we just got rid of one of the mobs. So... do I want to... Nah, I'll stack up my ultimates for the next room, I believe. And even stack up my SP a little bit, because I want to have a really crazy turn in this next room here. So yeah, we're going to start saving up now. So let's just do this. Yeah, we'll kill you and then work on the other enemy here, but that should put us in a position where we can get our ultimates before we enter the last... Oh, nope. We just got a crit right there, and it was just not happening. Okay, cool. It's fine. We can still build into what we're trying to do here. So we are going to support Hoshina, then drop the ult. So, ooh, but Hoshina's speed is about to get moved up really high. So does Sagan get her turn next before Hoshina? We'll see. Okay, so we got a speed boost. Excellent. We're going to do this with Sagan. Then we're going to hit Reno here. We're going to debuff the enemy. We're also going to be using Sagan's ultimate as well to boost our crit damage. Plus we got a freeze off. Excellent. Sagan's ultimate here for the crit damage boost. And then we're going to go ahead and drop Hoshina's ultimate as well. And then we'll have Hoshina's enhanced combat skill after the fact. Okay. So we're going to do this to see how much damage we do, even without the core exposed. Oh my gosh. We just hit 89k. Okay, chat. That's the damage I was looking for right there. We're going to hit this little ice crystal with this man Reno real quick. And then we're going to hit the enhanced skill right here and see how much damage that does. Let's see, chat. 74k, bro. Almost hit his ult damage on the... Okay, I can't in front of you, chat. I was kind of fumbling around there for the most of that showcase right there. But then, like, at the end right there, we really locked it in. I feel like that was pretty good. I feel like that was pretty impressive damage right there. His damage officially just cleared my Nanami's damage, and my Nanami is way more worked on than this man Hoshina. So yeah, Hoshina's damage absolutely clears Nanami. But again, I do not know that I can recommend this man Hoshina for the summon right now, just because of the landscape of the game at the moment. Just because we could be seeing another unit on October 1st, and just because we have Sagan, who is still a pretty solid priority, I would say right now. And if you don't believe me, Sagan definitely did just provide extra 30% damage, or extra 30% crit damage to that man Hoshina just now. So Sagan has more capability to her than just being a defender. She is really going to be a very good piece to add to your collection and your account. But yes, Hoshina also is a standard banner unit as far as we know, or it says that, or it doesn't say limited. So yes, he is a standard banner unit, so he'll be added to that standard banner eventually at some point. But if you guys did enjoy this showcase, which I very much did enjoy recording this showcase, because I found better, and found that he was getting better and better as I used him more and got a better understanding of him. You guys can go down below, leave a like on the video, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time the dead man hits the Hoshina sword slay style glide. And you guys can also comment down below and let me know what you want to know. But the dead man does love you. Peace out.